Welcome to SquareRoot Central. In this video, we will understand a technique which will help us calculate the square root of a number quickly and within seconds. Before we get into the how and why of the technique, there are two important points that you need to look into to understand how the method works. These 2 points are really important. I suggest you take a pen and paper, have these noted down. The first of the two is, if a number, that is the number in your question, has n digits, the square root of that number will either have n by 2 or n plus 1 by 2 digits. And the second is the table that you can see on your screen right now. That is, if a number ends in 1, its square root will either end in 1 or 9. If a number ends in 4, the square root will end in 2 or 8. If a number ends in 9, 3 or 7, if a number ends in 6, it will be 4 or 6. If a number ends in 5, the square root ends in 5. If a number ends in 0, the square root ends in 0. You can also see the numbers on the right hand side column of the screen adding up to 10. Alright, I hope everybody has that noted down. So let's begin to calculate the square root of a number using our technique. Just a quick note before we begin. You can use this method to find the square root of numbers with any number of digits, but I would recommend you use it for numbers with up to 6 digits. As we proceed, you will understand why exactly is it. So let's begin by calculating the square root of 204304. Now, for the two most important points that we discussed in the video previously, I hope everybody has that noted down. If not, please start the video again, write those points down. It will be useful for calculating square roots all throughout. I will also have those points on our social media handle as well. Whenever you get time, please visit them and go through the same. So step 1 of our technique would be to separate the number given in our question into 2 pairs. First pair would be the rightmost 2 digits. The next one would be the remaining 4 digits. In our case, first pair would be 0, 4. The remaining, that is 2043, will be the second pair. Now you can see 3 lines on your screen. Why the 3 lines is, as explained earlier in the video, if a number has n digits, the square root of that number will have n by 2 or n plus 1 by 2 digits. For the example here, our number has 6 digits. So the square root of our number will have 6 by 2, that is 3 digits. Since our number is ending in 4, as explained earlier in the video, our square root will either end in 2 or in 8. The reason for 2 separate 3 dashes is, at the moment we are not sure if the answer is ending in 2 or 8. Now let us look at the second pair of our number, that is 2043. Our second point of the technique is, we will have to find out the squares of 2 consecutive numbers between which 2043 lies. The easiest way to do this is, first, to calculate the square of a number ending in 0 to which our number is close to. In our case, 2043 lies somewhere between 1600 and 2500, that is 40 square and 50 square. Once we have narrowed down our number in between the square of 2 numbers ending in 0, we narrow it further down by calculating the square of a number ending in 5. In our case, let's calculate the square of a number ending in 5, that is 45 square is 2025. As we can see, our number 2043 is greater than 2025. So we calculate the square of the next number, 46. We get the square as 2116. And we can see that our number 2043 now lies between 2025 and 2116. That is, it lies between the squares of 2 consecutive numbers, 45 square and 46 square. Check out the video to calculate the square of a number in less than 3 seconds. I will have a link in the description below as well. Once we have our 2 consecutive numbers, we will pick the smaller of the 2, write them down in the tens and the hundred place. So the square root of our number would either be 452 or 458. Now step 3 will help us get to our final answer. We have 45. We use 45 multiplied with the next number 46. Once we do that, we get the answer 2070. Check out our video on 2-digit multiplication. I have the link in the description below. One more way where you can multiply 45 by 46 or any number that you will be getting here when you will solve the questions is you just add 45 to 2025. You have already calculated 45 square. Just add 45 to it, you will get the answer. Now, since our number 2043 is less than 2070, the square root of 204304 is 452. That is the smaller of the two numbers. Now, to quickly recap, we find out the square root of a number with 3 steps. Step 1 being we separate the number in the question in 2 parts. Part 1 being the rightmost 2 digits and part 2 the remaining of the digits. And we find out the units place of our answer based on the units place of the question. Next, we find the remainder of our answer by calculating the square of 2 consecutive numbers between which the remaining part of our question lies and selecting the smaller of the two. Once we have the smaller of the two numbers, we multiply it with the next number, compare the answer with part 2 of our question and get to the final answer accordingly. For daily dose of tips and trivia, follow us on social media, link in the description below. And for more examples, tips and tricks, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. SquareRoot Central signing off.